What's up, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? There you go. Don't try to hate me. I try to pin something, and then I just skip it over. That's the most important thing ever. But this is your first time ever being my lead. I am the creator and owner of RnB Souleffect-Tv. Just say, what's up to everybody that just on here who's been following me for literally over a decade. Those who have followed me recently, I appreciate you guys for always keeping the same energy with me, throughout this journey and stuff like that. So follow Hip Hop Police on IG, saying for up-to-date on concert events and a little bit of everything and stuff like that. Pro, what's going on? And also, I bet you guys follow Jay Chosen, her artist. He got a brand new single out. That bad boy's bad. Man, I tell you one thing. Oh man, these last 5 months went by so fast. Here we are. We are in June already, which is my birthday month. And I'll be 42. Ain't that something? I don't even look it. So they just say, I'm blessed by God. Because there's some people that's my age, look like they're going on 72. Don't lie on that. Because I ran into one dude, I didn't see him since I graduated high school. He got like full white gray hair everywhere. And he saw me. He said, well, Sean, what's going on, man? This is about like a year ago. I looked at him. I said, damn, what happened to you, man? Stuff. I'm like, dude, look like somebody's grandfather and stuff. And there she is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm trying to, why my thing won't turn around? Ooh.
Yeah, I know the feeling when it comes to that.
Ooh. Trying to turn it around. How do I do that here? Okay.
Yeah, okay, like all that on the Instagram wall, she should have like a little thing, will look like a little turning arrow, so she'll let you turn the camera around.
Yeah, I did. Hold on. I'm gonna have to go out and come back in because it went away.
Okay. Yeah, that's what they do by IG. They will try to bump everything up live. Don't lie on there. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Turn around and do this request again. What's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up?
There it goes.
Okay.
Hey.
Pretty good to go.
Yes. What's good?
Yeah. Oh man, pretty good and stuff. I tell you one thing, I was telling the audience on here, like these last 5 months, well, now going on 6, went by so fast as it did.
Yes.
Things.
Look, it's almost Christmas.
I swear. And just want to say, I'm glad to have you all here. I've been meaning to hit you up for a long time because I see your interviews on Vibe Sessions and
thank you for having me
and stuff. And I want to get you on here, and stuff, and just break down the details of your life for your past as well as your present, as far as career and stuff like that. And before you do anything, just want to give you a flowers because when I read your bio, I was looking up stuff. I said, man, this woman's been in the game for a long time. She definitely deserves her flowers. I mean, the work you put in, wrote songs for Chris Brown, John Heed, Destiny Child, 3LW. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, my sister.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. I've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, because I know some reason like the last couple of years, because how I found out about you, I think it was like during the pandemic, and you wrote a song for Diddy. They Don't Want to See Us, and I said, man, that song is fire, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then and then also with the lore and stuff. And you know, the first thing I thought to myself, like, anytime you write a song of a '90s artist, and it's like, you know, it's kind of like picking up where it left off at. Usually, some artists, you know, from back in the day, they get with a producer. It doesn't match what they used to. It's not about a hit. It's about what people know by, you know, something, their sound and stuff like it, and bring the best out of them.
Right, right. I enjoy working with artists, especially artists that really give me their undivided attention and they're willing to work just as hard as me. So
Yeah,
I definitely
absolutely.
had a good time working with Allure. They're very open, you know, creative. They want to be a part of the process. They're not just like robots following the wave, you know. They want to
Right.
be a part of what's going on, and I love that about them. And they work hard.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, you know, and I gotta give a shout out to them because they're pretty much like rebranding themselves and
Mm-hmm.
stay consistent. And they have a great direction where they want to go. Where you so good they come together, it's like a hit and miss. Also, somebody's in their feelings. Someone wants to leave. I'm like, come on, man. You know, you guys are grandparents.
Right, right.
So,
Right.
all right. Let's get right to it. Now, growing up, what was your early inspirations? You know, as a kid.
Um, what was my inspiration? You know, in my spare time when I was young, I would read a lot and I would play all the music my mother had. And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of nights I used to play Richard Pryor's Wanted to
Okay.
keep me laughing, to keep me motivated, you know. And then I just loved listening to music. And one day I was just like watching TV and I saw a sequence with Angie B, which was Angie Stone. I seen her and the rest of the girls doing that. Do you wanna rock? Do you wanna dance? I saw them
Yeah.
doing that and they was rapping. I said, oh, I want to do that too. So I went out with a couple of friends of mine. We formed a rap group. So I started out rapping. So yeah, that
Yeah.
was
So,
fun.
yeah,
hmm
that's crazy,
My name
you know, because in the '80s, go ahead.
my name was Honey Bee. Then I changed it to Dynasty. And then people started hitting me when they saw Queen Latifah was and thought it was me. I was like, no, that's not me. But you know, I had fun with it. I used to be everywhere, you know, rapping, being at the CCP Rec with um, Peter Pan, who used to give shows there every Saturday. I was there sneaking in at 14. I was big for my age, so they didn't even card me. So I was in there like up under everybody. I met some of everybody, became friends, cool friends with Force MDs. Stevie D is like the last original member, but I was friends with all of them back then. Cutmaster DC, LL Cool J, Cold Crush Brothers. Like, I was friends with all of them. Run DMC. 14. Just up in people's face like
Wow.
I'm 21.
Wow. Yeah, and that's crazy because, you know, usually you don't see too many teenagers doing it. Usually be like maybe like somewhere like 25 or 30, you know, or maybe I say like 19, you know, trying to get a demo going and stuff. When you had your group, was there a point in time you thought to yourself like, well, this don't last long. Let me see if I could do something solo.
Um, well, when we had the group, we got to deal with EMI slash Pocket Town.
Okay.
Pocket Town slash EMI. We was on the label with Billy Lawrence and Crucial Conflict that did Hay in the Barn. We was all on that
Okay,
label.
yeah.
We was all on that label together, and then the label, I guess they ran out of money or whatever. So the group broke up, and I never thought about going solo. I never wanted to be a solo artist, but me and Tanisha kept writing, and me and her
Yeah.
formed our company, Big Draws, and we just kept writing and ended up getting a publishing deal for like 350K with no placements, no songs on
Wow.
nobody. It was just really about our work ethic. We was so crazy and dope with being everywhere, giving people records, They
Now
loved
correct
our
me.
grind.
Now correct me on this. Was a 3LW was the first act that you wrote for, or was
Yes.
it a group
It
before
was
that?
3LW, then it was Patti LaBelle with Troy Taylor.
Tortilla.
We
Okay.
did
What was
3LW with Rockwilder.
Rockwilder? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Shouts to Rockwilder. What was it like? Working with those three young ladies, uh, intercessions.
Oh, it was great. They all were great. Like we had a nice bond, especially with Adrienne. You know,
Yeah.
at the time Adrienne was going like through a little thing with her eyes, and I went through what she went through. So me and her like kind of connected on that level, as far as her eyesight was concerned. But we had a good
Yeah.
time. We was in New York in the studio all the time, and we did a record on them, and just kept it moving from there.
Yeah. It's crazy. You and a handful of people be like the kickstarters of their career to see where, Adrian's at, and see where I can't think of the dark skinned sister's name to see where she's at.
Hmm.
And I don't know about the other lady, the promises, whatever's going on with her. But
Hmm.
just to see them two where they at, it's amazing. Okay, now moving on from there, Pay LaBelle, like you said. What was like working with the icon?
Well,
Herself.
we didn't get a chance to work with her, so we cut the record. It was
Okay.
me, Tanisha, this young lady, I forget her name, forgive me, and Trey Songz. At the time,
Okay.
we were up under Trey a lot, writing records with him, helping Troy and Charles to secure his situation with Atlantic. So
Yeah.
we end up writing the song for Patti LaBelle, and a young lady, she demoed it, and Troy sent it to her, and she took the record. So Troy went and cut the record on her and vocal produced her and everything. It didn't bother me at all. I'm like, we got the placement. It was about getting a song. I would have loved to have met her, but it's business, and I understand how it's done. Back then, we understood how it's done.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
had we had
Yeah.
we had to fall back, and let Troy do his thing.
Yeah. Now, in between the music, on the music side, did you ever thought to yourself like, now I see you be behind the scenes of doing like film projects and stuff like that. Did you, I know everybody wants to go to Sony and do this and that all the time. Did you thought to yourself, you know the game, it was like I want to do it independently. Don't have to deal with some of the big heads and they take your movie try to put it to the side and you never see it again and stuff.
Um, hmm, that's a good question. I always like having a team. You know what I mean? I'm a team person. I believe in having. You can't make it without a great team. That's just the moral of the story. Nobody has done it by themselves. They had, whether it was one person helping them or 10 people helping them. They had a team of somebody's. And I always had a team to help me and to do what I love. And I didn't get into the whole movie thing until later, maybe like 4 years now.
Oh, okay.
So early, I wasn't thinking about doing no movies, no writing no movies or none of that. I was just like, yo, I love writing, I love music. Me and Tanisha had a great chemistry. We both brought something different to the table as a team, and people loved the experience when they had us both together and separately. But ultimately, I had a good time writing with her and being on different projects and meeting a lot of incredible people.
That's incredible. All right. Like we're gonna run it back now. Around this time, you was working with Destiny's Child,
Yeah.
and you did like two songs that got together called "If" and "Free."
Mhm.
How did those situations came about? Now, as far as like, I know some labels they will like keep one song and turn down the other. For them to keep both, I know y'all was like shocked
Yeah,
about
we
that.
was. At the time, Randy was our manager. He was managing us and Rockwilder. The first song we did, if we did that song for a tweet, believe it or not,
Oh,
and
oh wow.
Randy or Rockwilder played it for Destiny's Child when they was at the studio at Sony. They woke me up like 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning, and was like, "Yo, we need the
Wow.
lyrics." So I had to get up, wipe the sleep out my eyes, and write the lyrics and what you call it, fax the lyrics over to them to learn it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then we had to be in the studio later. I think Tanisha was out of town or she was on her way back from being out of town. And then me, her, and Juanita, we all ended up at the studio there. And it was just an amazing experience. Soon as we walked in, Beyonce was just like, how did you guys come up with this record? This record is amazing. And we told her we was drinking wine and mel bashing at the time when we came up with If. We all was, I guess, in our feelings at the time when we wrote the record. And we did free on the spot. She loved
Wow.
the If record so much. Rock pulled up another track and she wanted us to write the second song right then and there. And they went to lunch. We went in a booth and came up. Well, not in a booth. The speakers, the microphones were outside, and where the console was, which was really dope. How they
Okay.
recorded at the time, but yeah, we came up with it on the spot. They came back and helped write some of the stuff with us. It was an experience. Like we had fun. Like Beyonce had on no makeup. She had on a sweatsuit, had her hair in a ponytail. All of
Right.
them was just chilling. AJ Johnson came through because she was their trainer at the time. She came through with their food and all that stuff. And like we just had a we laughed, we talked. We had a good time. So for people that be saying, "Oh, Beyonce don't write or she don't do this," it's not true because right in front of us, she vocal produced the bridge to If with uh, Michelle and Kelly. She helped cut Michelle's vocals, and I'm just watching her like, oh, I thought I was the only one that do it like that, but she does it too. Get a whole bunch of vocals and then comp them, So yeah, she was very involved.
Yeah, you know how social media is. Some people will say one thing and they'll run with it and have the whole world believing in that. And her pit game, I don't think she gets enough credit. When it comes to arranging music and stuff. I mean, you look at, like the album credits, you'll see all that saying B Dose did this, B Dose did that. And,
Yeah,
I
she's
mean,
very
yeah,
musically inclined.
yeah,
She know her notes. I love her transitions. I like how she builds harmonies. She doesn't totally to the left, you know. I mean, if I didn't see it for myself, then, I would have to speculate like everybody else. But being that I was there and I saw her do it, it's like I can't roll with the punches because I seen her get down and do some vocals and help direct the record from scratch and right in front of me.
yeah. Around this time, you work with Jaheed in a song called "The
Yeah.
Chosen One." Like how that record come together.
Um, we did that with Balewa Muhammad. Balewa was he's a part of the Clutch.
Okay.
So Balewa called us and we did a writing camp up in the
Right.
Poconos. And I think it was 4 bedrooms, and it was like 2 or 3 writers to each bedroom. And he gave us tracks, and we all came up with lyrics. We came up with songs. We recorded them, which was a dope idea. And he called us and said one of the records made it on Jaheim. We was happy. I think one of the records made it to Christina Aguilera. I mean, it was a great experience. But that's how that record came about, working with Balewa. So we
Okay.
wasn't at the session
I
when he cut the record. I'm assuming that Balewa was there, but we helped to create the record.
because I always want to know, especially in your position, to be a writer, and you just praying and hoping that these songs get picked up, and then for some reason, some songs get recorded, they get tossed to the side. It's like, okay, if you guys are not going to use it, I'm going to go ahead and give this song to somebody else. Has there ever been those situations?
It depends, because when a label buy a record from you, you can't just take it and put it on somebody. You have to get their permission because they paid for the record. They paid for it to get recorded, mixed. They invested their money in it. So, I feel like us as writers, we need to do contracts with clauses in them that gives the label a certain amount of years to hold on to a record. You know, Like we did 2 songs on Rihanna for Good Girl Gone Bad. Before they changed the album to the actual title, we did songs on
Wow.
her. So it changed the whole direction of the album. And they bought those 2 records. And we were like, okay, well, can we like resubmit those records to somebody else? And they're like, no, because they paid for them. So I feel like in a contract, we should have, and I'm giving that advice to writers when you do give your songs up, to have that clause added to your contract. After 5 years, 6 years, if 5 years, if the artist don't put the record out or they don't keep it or give it to someone else, it needs to come back to me. Come back to you.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Good Girl Gone Bad was 15 years ago.
Yep, about
Give or
15
take.
years ago. Yeah, like 2000, 2008.
Yep. So
Yep.
that record is just like, those 2 records are sitting at whatever label she was on at the time. It's just sitting there. Nobody using them.
What was it like when you got the word about you being nominated for the first time? Like, I know you had like all these thoughts in your head, to see what your records that wrote to being nominated.
I didn't find out till later.
Oh, wow.
Because I'll be on a move, I'll be on to the next thing.
Yeah.
I've done so many records. Half of the time, I don't even remember the name of them. I'll have to go back and be like, and start singing it a little bit to figure out what the hook was, because you keep moving with it. But when I did find out we were Grammy nominated, I was excited. I think the first Grammy nomination for us was with Trinity 5.7.
Okay.
So we did 2 gospel records on them with Rockwilder. Then the other stuff came after, and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it was cool. I was doing what I love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wasn't like out celebrating and having a party. I wasn't having a party or nothing. I just was like, okay, cool. Now let's do the next thing. Let's keep it moving. Now let's get a Grammy.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that though, because like when I see certain artists that's independent, they've been independent all their careers, like they try to chase for awards so bad. I'm like, look, celebrate what you got going on. It was meant for you to have, was meant for you to have.
Right.
That's how I look.
I definitely have never chased for one. It's just about doing great work, doing great songs, having those artists who love your music, like kind of put themselves in that pocket and sing the song and make it great. Once we heard the final project from Destiny's Child, from Charlie Wilson, from, Kindred the Family Soul, the records we did, it was just like, wow, we really got records on them. But, I mean, I feel like we really didn't get a chance to, like, overly get excited and be like, oh, my God, because, we got jerked a lot, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From being green.
Yeah.
From not understanding the business and being happy to just be a part of a project, you forget certain things. I'm not even going to say forget. We weren't aware of certain things. Like I remember we did a record for this particular artist who's a big artist. We helped them get a deal and we never got paid for it. The record got put out. We never really seen any money from it. Like, I think they bought us iPods, and I guess they were like, okay, well, they didn't ask for no money, so we ain't going to give them no money, and it should have been a given, especially if the person already know how the business goes. So that comes down
that's
to,
a big slap in the face.
Yeah, it is. And that comes down to trusting people too. You think people have your back and they really don't. That's why I stress it's important for you to know your business, know what you're worth, know what people are supposed to be paying you. If they don't want to give it to you as much as you deserve it, then you can keep walking. Because guess what? God gonna bless you with something bigger, and they're gonna wish they had done right by you, you know, and I had to see it in that vein. Was I disappointed? Very, very. I was
Yeah.
very disappointed in 3 different scenarios where Tanisha and I didn't get paid, and everybody else had
Well,
checks. You know, it was very, very heartbreaking.
I tell you one thing, somebody big will be upside down when it's all over.
Uh huh. Uh huh. Because you know what, God,
Yeah,
I told Tanisha, I said, what's meant for us will be for us.
yeah. And that's the thing I try to tell people, on social media. And I think we live in a time where some individuals that's trying to get in the bit, the in it, but they try to get fully in. It's like it's day and
Hmm.
night. It's like they see it, they don't even acknowledge it. And it's like just because something looks good doesn't mean it ain't good. You can't put all your energy into one situation because it end up
Right.
backfiring like that.
I learned that the hard
Yeah,
way. That's why I started, you know what, there are other things I want to do, and it's called my um, industry bucket list. That's what I call it. And that
yeah,
was to do soundtracks, do movies. I had movie ideas of my own. So you know what? I can't get into certain places and I'm not going to chase nobody. It's time for me to build my own table. So that's what I did. Built my own table with some great, amazing people, you know, with my partner JJ and my partner Lawana and my lawyer Chris Brown. Like, you know, I'm grateful to have these particular people in my life that believe in me, and we all work great together as a team, you know, to get the job done. And we've been a part of some really great projects and more projects to come, you know. Again, it's
yeah,
about having a good team of people to help you move
yeah,
what you're trying to do. You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely and stuff. Yeah, because I tell you that, like I be watching you grind. I swear, for the time I followed you on social media, I mean, for the music to the movies I see you do, and to see people like like the members of Allure, Diddy, and other individuals, I'm like, man, this one over here is like a machine. He's like all going, it's like a nonstop and stuff. Even like during the pandemic, saying like it never
Yeah, I was
stopped. And
moving. I'm waiting for one
speaking,
of them to give me that
yeah,
seat. Give me that seat at the label so I could, you know, do my thing. I could be my own Sylvia Room,
yeah,
my
because
own Clive Davis, my own L.A. Reid, you know, because I got it. You know, God has been good to me. He has blessed me with great talents. I never had to look for talent. It always fell in my lap, which is a blessing. Um, if something didn't work out, it was the talent that didn't want
yeah,
to put in 1,000%. You know, I can't be me and my team can't be the only ones running and doing for you. You got to do for you too. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
that's true.
So you know, I stress that a lot. I'm very hard. You know, and if I got to keep talking to you about the same thing, then I'm gonna have to like loosen that tie and let you go on about your way and let you do what you think you know you could do. You know, so
Yeah,
that's really it. I love helping artists, you know, who are talented. You know, even if they fall short of a couple of things, I see past those things. I love the underdogs. You know what I mean?
oh,
I
oh,
love
yeah,
the
yeah,
underdogs because they come up and they shock you and surprise you. Like, I'm gonna use Scarlett for an example. You know what I mean? I read her
hmm,
story, the stuff she's been through, and for her to get this one record to like shoot her to do the summer jam, to get paid to do the summer jam, you know, and
that's huge.
everybody from New York just giving her that hope, just giving her the love, like that's needed, it's necessary.
Yeah, it definitely is and stuff. It definitely is, because because I swear, like the last couple of records I done heard you wrote and you being tagged in, I was like, man, I love to see her get, get put on to Epic Records or something, because when I look at, some artists that got a great voice, I was like, man, and it was that because I remember I mentioned you and there was certain other producers. I said, man, they would have had Dale behind them. I could just imagine that would I mean, see how it turned out. Now, speaking of which, Lauren's about to drop a new single. that correct me on this, it's called Loving You. And how did that record come about?
Well, we originally did the record on this young lady, and her project didn't fall through. So we had a couple of records that we did with her, which were amazing, you know, about 4.5, maybe 5 years ago. And I was listening to the record. I was like, this would be perfect for Allure, you know, after just listening to some of the records that they did, and they loved the record. So I invited them to come here to cut it. And because I'm working on my new series, Legacy, I was like, yo, you guys are playing a girl group in the series, so let's do this record and do it kind of old school with the video, you know. And they came in and killed the record, you know. JJ recorded them, JJ wrote it, Londa wrote it, and the song came out amazing. And I think it's a great record for them.
Yeah, because just hearing like the little highlight clip, I was like, man, I can't wait to hear the full version.
And they look good. And they look good.
Yeah, you know, I mean, for them to keep up with, you know, the image and everything, I mean, they do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's gonna sort of black don't crack. You know, usually some, you know, artists ain't gonna mention no names. They look like the 85 results. I'm like, damn, how the hell you 40 now? Look like you're 85.
You know what? I'm so excited. I'm so excited for them because they still doing shows. They still have that energy. They still have what it takes to still do records. You know what I mean? Like, you got SWV, they're working on another new album. Escape, working on new stuff too. Why not Allure? They have hits too. You know, I told them, you know, it's time. Do a nice little EP while you're on the road doing these shows. Throw your new songs in there. You know, the other song we did, Like I Do, did like over 30K with no promo. Damn. You know, so it's like now we're going to get together to figure out the whole launching process, and we're going to put some heat behind it to push the record. And, you know, it's going to be even bigger. People, DJs and stuff are already hitting me for it.
Yeah, you know, and plus this is the perfect time because I know this one YouTube platform called Reality Gossip, they come up with all kinds of stuff. And I thought to myself, and I know I interviewed them a little bit after, the matter of fact, before that Reality Gossip platform came about, and I thought to myself, I said, man, I would love for them to drop an EP or album or something, because in a demographic world, they think that, okay, like, you know, like they may say they're not doing nothing, but we know they doing something.
Right.
And, you know, like, and I always tell people all the time, like, you got a phone, you know, type in a name and you'll see everything.
Yeah, it'll pop up. Like, even now with Monifa, I'm executive producing her new project. You know, it's just the point of us finishing everything and putting it out. And I've been doing songs with Big Bub. You know, he way overdue for putting records out. I'm like, Big Bub, we missed Luther Vandross. We missed that voice of yours. That's amazing. You know, let's drop a project. I feel like the songs that I have on him, get a mix and just put them out and make him, he just gonna be mad at me.
Yeah, he got a voice, you know, looking forward to that.
The records that we did are amazing, and his voice is just, he's just amazing. You know, besides that, and me working with High Five and Riff and, you know, Silk, you know, I love the old school.
Yeah. Now, you don't work with a lot of people in this industry. Is there any particular artists you would love to work with? You never got a chance to, you know, come past, you know, because, you know, it's all about timing. But if there was any, well, maybe like 4 or 5 people you know to work with, who would that would be?
Well, one would be definitely SWV.
Oh, well. Oh, man, I can see that.
Mm-hmm. I would love to work with, I would have loved to have worked with New Edition if they did a new project. Johnny Gill, of course. Jasmine Sullivan. And Chris Brown would be interesting.
Wow. Oh, man, yeah. I can see that. Because, you know, it's funny you mentioned him, because a lot of people, you know, keep talking about he hasn't made a pure R&B record. And I think, you know, sometimes it just depends on, you know, what's inspiring him. I guess, I don't know, you know, his camp put something in his head, whatever. But I think it'll be dope to see him make a full R&B album. You know,
Well, you know
just
what?
to prove to the audience.
People got to understand too. He's going with what works. What works for him were those type of records, those type of crossover records. Those put money in his pocket. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
those were the ones that were on the charts at the time, and you know, people was kicking R&B in the back. I feel
Yeah,
like if he would have made R&B records during that time when they was talking down on R&B, it wouldn't have went good for him. You know, like now is the
yeah,
time for him to get some R&B records under his belt and like start dropping some R&B records. But you got to remember, even back when Chris came out, he was still doing crossover records, popping.
yeah. He was. Yeah, he was.
You
Yep.
know, even though it had R&B to it, it was still a crossover record.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because he does so many crossover records. I mean, I can't think of a time he made a song that was like, what did it sound like it was a crossover record? I can't even really think of one what Chris did. Every day there's just been crossover, crossover, crossover. And all went platinum and gold or more.
He did a few ballads that were R&B, that stayed in the R&B
Okay.
lane, that didn't cross over. But guess what? The biggest records that he got noted for were the ones that crossed over. They were
Yeah.
the ones that crossed over. You know, again, it goes along with the time. At that time when he was doing those records, that's what was popping.
Yeah. Now, you got the Laura project going, and then you got Monifa project in the works. Now, besides the music side, is there any film projects we all should be looking out for soon?
Well, I have Javon, my artist. He's from Philly. Eddie Michaels. JJ has Jawani. She's gonna be dropping some stuff too. The movie Legacy. The part 2 of my Writers Rumble on Tubi. That's really it right now. And you know, my artist Zenub Star, he has some things dropping as well. You know, I'm excited about all of them dropping something due to this whole COVID epidemic that kind of set everybody back a little bit. You know, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited that everyone's outside and able to perform and go see people, you know, actually be live and breathe some fresh air and have a good time.
Yeah, I tell you that COVID, I swear, like that felt like the worst punishment ever. I'm like, damn, like what did I do? Man,
And,
it's
and, and you know
like
what?
couldn't even go nowhere.
It's still low key hitting people.
Yeah, yeah, it
You
is.
know,
Yeah,
it just ain't as big, and you know the economy is losing a lot of money, so they had to like do something. I'm just excited
yeah,
that people are getting a chance to be out, you know, and see all the beautiful music that people have made during the COVID. You know, things are
yeah,
extra expensive now. I don't know how that wave is gonna run, keep running. But I'm excited about the new music. I'm excited about the new artists. I'm excited about a lot of the indie artists that are coming out and doing their things.
yeah. With that being said, thank you for taking the time to come on here. And this right here has been pretty much
Thank you again for
uh,
having me.
like
Yes.
I know probably a couple years in the making and stuff. Because I know now some of the people I did interview, they shout you out. Said, man, like you should get Shanell Red on there. And I said, I definitely once I get my whole schedule cleared up, I said I definitely got to
I
get on there because
appreciate
they
it.
shout you
I
out.
appreciate those shout
And
outs.
a little did, yeah. So it was only a matter of time and stuff. And that's like I said, I just want to give you flowers for you been in the game for so long, wrote for so many people. I tell you, like you definitely blast the world with hits and
Thank you.
stuff.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
all
Hopefully
they
I
gotta do
continue
is like,
hopefully I continue to have that yellow brick road running.
yeah. Hey, time is the essence and stuff. And hopefully, black music artists are like on some major world platform and give you your flowers, say, because you definitely deserve it. It's much work you to put in and stuff, That's real talk. But with that being said, I hope you have a blessed Tuesday. definitely got to come back over here
You
again,
too.
and
You too.
you, and hopefully, you know, with the Lord drop the EP, you know, get you back on here and break down the song with the lyrics, and you know,
Yes, yes,
go
yes.
from there.
Yes, yes.
So,
That'll be great.
but all right, yeah, all right, then, like you have a blessed Tuesday.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. All right.
All right.